All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're tackling one of the biggest tech showdowns of 2025, a head-to-head battle between two absolute giants in the premium laptop space. So, you've probably heard about Intel's new chips, right? Arrow Lake, Luna Lake. It's a ton of jargon. And honestly, it makes picking the right laptop way more confusing than it really needs to be. So, to cut through all that noise, we're putting two absolute heavyweights in the ring. On one side, the LG Gram Pro. On the other, the Samsung Galaxy Book5 Pro. This is a classic matchup, and by the time we're done, you're going to know exactly which one is the right choice for you. Okay, so round one, look and feel. Let's kick things off with the stuff you notice right away. The design, how it feels in your hands, portability. And right off the bat, you can see these two have totally different ideas about design. The Gram, well, it sticks with that signature white magnesium alloy. It's definitely unique, but let's be honest, it doesn't exactly scream super premium. The Galaxy Book, though, it goes for a more standard aluminum body. It might not stand out as much in a crowd, but the second you pick it up, oh yeah, it feels solid, expensive. But that design choice, it has a huge consequence. Weight. We're talking a nearly 400-gram difference. To put that in perspective, that's like carrying two extra smartphones around in your bag all day, every day. So the takeaway here is pretty simple. If portability is your absolute number one, the Gram has a massive, undeniable lead. Now, both of these laptops have absolutely gorgeous, super vibrant OLED screens. Can't go wrong there. But the Galaxy Book does pull ahead with a really nice, responsive touchscreen. That's a big point in its favor. But, a quick word of caution on OLED tech. An expert we follow, who used a similar laptop for heavy video editing for 2 whole years, actually reported seeing visible burn-in of the editing software's interface. It's a real-world risk, so it's just something to keep in the back of your mind. All right, time to get nerdy. Let's move on to round two, the performance puzzle. We're going to dig into all those confusing charts and numbers, and I promise we'll figure out what actually matters. So first things first, what even are benchmarks? Well, think of them like a standardized workout for a laptop. You've got tests like Cinebench, which measures raw processing power, and then stuff like 3D Mark, which tests its gaming chops. They basically give us a fair, objective way to see which machine is faster on paper, without all the marketing hype. And this chart, this is where things get really interesting. This is our first major surprise. In this Cinebench test, which measures multi-core power, just look at this. The Gram Pro with the Luna Lake chip scores dramatically lower than the Galaxy Book, even though they have the exact same processor inside. I mean, it's not even close. So what is going on here? Is the chip broken? Probably not. As one expert reviewer put it, quote, "It seems to need more optimization. The score is definitely not what it should be." This really points to a software or a driver issue, something that, LG could and hopefully will fix with a future update. Okay, now let's talk about something really practical, heat. You'd think the more powerful Arrow Lake Gram would run hotter when you push it, right? Well, you'd be wrong. In fact, its keyboard surface stays a full 10 degrees Celsius cooler than the Galaxy Books. That aluminum body on the Samsung might be great at spreading heat away from the CPU, but it also means your fingers are going to feel that warmth a whole lot more. But this right here might be the biggest shock of the entire comparison. When we look at gaming, the Arrow Lake Gram, the one we all assumed would have weaker graphics, performs almost identically to the Luna Lake Galaxy Book. This just completely flips the script on what we were expecting. And meanwhile, that poor Luna Lake Gram is still way, way behind, which again just points back to those optimization problems. Okay, so raw power is one thing, but how do these laptops actually handle, your day-to-day life? That brings us to round 3, the daily grind. We're going to look at battery, speakers, and that all-important keyboard. When it comes to battery life, this story gets pretty fascinating. If all you're doing is kicking back and streaming video, the Galaxy Book is the absolute, undisputed champion. It's just more efficient, giving it hours more playback time.
It's a huge win for Samsung here.
But hang on a second, look what happens when we switch to a more realistic test. You know, a mix of browsing, writing documents, multitasking. All of a sudden, the Aeroleak Grim is right back in the fight. It's incredibly competitive and super efficient. This just goes to show that how you use your laptop completely changes which one has the better battery life.
Okay, this next result honestly stunned the experts. The Galaxy Book has 4 speakers. The Gram only has 2, so Samsung should sound way better, right? Not even close. In actual listening tests, people preferred the Gram's 2 speakers because they had a warmer, fuller sound. The Galaxy Book's quad speaker system, it was actually described as shrill and kind of harsh when you cranked up the volume. This is a perfect example of where more isn't always better.
And finally, let's talk about typing. What about the keyboard? The Gram has this really strong, almost artificial feeling click to it. Some people might love that sharp feedback, but reviewers found the Galaxy Book's feel, which is a bit more moderate and softer, was way less tiring to type on for long periods. So, after all that, all the numbers, the surprises, the trade-offs, which laptop actually comes out on top? All right, let's break it down in the final verdict and help you find your winner. So, the Samsung Galaxy Book 5 Pro. This is the one for you if you really value that premium, solid aluminum feel. It's for you if you absolutely need a touchscreen and if you want the longest possible battery life for watching movies and shows. It's the stable, predictable, works great right out of the box choice. But the LG Gram Pro, the Aeroleak version, that's your champion if your #1 priority is a laptop that's as light as a feather. It's for you if you want a keyboard that stays nice and cool even when you're pushing it hard, if you need that strong battery life for actual productivity work, and if you're intrigued by its surprisingly good gaming performance for a laptop this thin and light. And what about that third wheel, the Luna Lake version of the Gram? Well, based on everything we've seen, our advice is pretty simple. Just wait. Until LG pushes out some software updates to fix those really obvious performance issues, it's not ready. So in the end, the most important thing to remember is this. Specs on a website never ever tell the whole story. The real question isn't which laptop is the best. The real question, after seeing all of this, is which laptop is the best for you.